The next speaker will be Tim Juda with his speech, Swing. Swing by Tim Juda.
It was a warm summer Saturday morning. I was watching my then 6-year-old son Joseph play Little League baseball. A player from the other team was rounding second base on his way to third, with my son standing there waiting to tag him out. I was looking through my video camera thinking, Joseph, don't tag him. Mr. Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters, and anyone who wasn't quite sure they heard me correctly, that's right, I wanted my son not to tag him out. It wasn't because I wanted my son to fail at that moment. I was hoping the other little boy would succeed. The great thing about Little League Baseball, it gives children and perhaps adults a place to learn life's simple yet valuable lessons. The other little boy's name was Andreas. Andreas faced many challenges the other kids didn't have to face that day. He was born with limitations in one arm and one leg, and when he ran, he had to run sideways around the bases. You couldn't help but feel for this little boy. I wanted him to succeed. He started by coming to the plate, wrapped his bat twice, and tried to make contact with the ball. But because of his limitations, he was unable to make that contact after 5 swings. When this happens in coach pitch baseball, they bring a tee out for the child, and they brought a tee out for Andreas. Andreas picked up that ball, set it on the tee, wrapped his bat twice, but this time, pow, the ball shot off the tee like a rocket. He began a slow, methodical run around the bases. His coach got excited and said, Andreas, go to second. He continued his run around the bases. He said, Andreas, stop at second. And of course, Andreas kept going. And that's where my son was waiting to tag him out. I couldn't imagine how Andreas felt at this moment. Maybe disappointed that he let his teammates down by not listening to his coach and getting tagged out at second. Maybe he questioned whether he belonged on the same field as the other boys and girls. I wanted him to experience success. What is success? The Webster's Dictionary describes success as a degree or measure of succeeding. I was never a big fan of those definitions that had the word in the definition you were trying to look up. So I looked at the next entry. It said favorable or desired outcome. This could be different for each and every one of us given the same set of circumstances. Take 2 senior high school students, for example. Both students took the same final exam in the same class. Both students received 75%. The student over here was in running to be school valedictorian. That 75% to them was devastating. That cost them the opportunity to deliver that final inspiring speech to the graduating class at commencement. The student over here wasn't your model student and struggled throughout the year, but worked hard and studied and knew if they scored over 70%, they'd pass the class. That 75% was deemed a success. By understanding that we all have different views of success, we'll know whether we have to pick someone back up so they can maintain those standards they set for themselves, or if we should acknowledge someone for making a small change in their life for the better. That same result yields 2 entirely different views of success. After Andreas got tagged out, I expected him to be sad and moping, but he was smiling from ear to ear. He ran back to the dugout, gave his dad a high five, and said, Dad, did you see that hit? I sure did, Andreas. That was the best hit you had all year. And because they knew what his favorable and desired outcome was, they were able to share a moment of success only a father and son can share. And I was inspired. You see, Andreas didn't need to circle all the way around the bases and score a run. He just wanted to hit the ball. As a matter of fact, every child on that field had a different view of success that day. Some did want to circle all the way around the bases and score a run. Some wanted to make a great play in the field. Others thought success was ignoring the game altogether, building a big mound of dirt, and kicking it in a cloud of dust. Here is the essential question. What is your view of success? What are your favorable or desired outcomes? Maybe you want to start your own business, but people who mean well are telling you don't. The risk and expenses far outweigh the profits and rewards. Maybe you want to start a new career or take on a new job opportunity, but people are telling you, are you kidding? In this economy, you have a job. You are successful. Maybe you want to write your own book, but people are telling you, why waste your words in writing? Besides, the only books that get read are the ones that are recommended by Oprah. And because you try to live up to others' expectations, you never step one foot in the batter's box. You need to get out of your box of limitations and into the batter's box. Take a swing, or you'll let opportunities pass you by. And as Andreas showed us, the joys and rewards that go with it. Andreas did have an opportunity to score a run that game. You see, in coach pitch baseball, every child bats every inning. And the last child in the lineup, no matter how far they hit the ball or how soon the other team gets the ball, gets to circle all the way around the bases and score a run. Andreas' coach made sure he was the player that next inning. Once again, they got the tee out from Andreas. He put the tee down, set the ball, put it on the tee, wrapped his bat twice, and made that contact. This time, he completed his gleeful gallop all the way around the bases and scored a run. I had a sneaky suspicion he heard his coach telling him to stop at second the inning before, but Andreas thinking, stop at second after that hit? Not a chance, buddy. He heard a voice, but it was the voice in his heart telling him each and every time he came to the plate, just hit the ball. What is your heart telling you? What are your favorable and desired outcomes? Get in the box. Take a swing. As Andreas showed each and every one of us, we can all succeed sometimes, even before we step one foot out of the batter's box. Mr. Contest. Thank you.